Brent Bandauer, school counselor. I'm a middle school counselor right now, and I know a lot of you are concerned about coming to middle school. So I wanted to talk to you a little bit about how you can cope with that change in your life. And one of the best ways to cope with changes that are coming up in your life, you can anticipate situations that might be coming up. You can begin to think of some ideas about how you would handle those situations, and that way you're better prepared to face those things. And so today I have with me the Bag of Wisdom. And the Bag of Wisdom is all sorts of slips of paper that will present situations that you may face as a middle school student. I also have Ross here with me today. He's a 5th grader. And I also have Monica here with me, who is also another 5th grader. And I also have Chaz, who is a middle school student right here in my middle school. Hello, it's good to be here. I'm going to get their perspective on what they think they would do to handle these situations. So let's get started. Let's start with the first one from the Bag of Wisdom. Here's the situation. It says, you come back to the locker room after PE and find that someone has broken into your locker. How do you feel? What would you do? Well, I don't know, man. If I come back to the locker room and somebody was in my locker and took my wallet, man, dude, that would really make me mad. I don't want someone getting in my locker, taking my stuff. Holy smokes. I guess I would feel angry. Oh my gosh, I'd be angry. And I guess what I would do is, what could I do, man? I guess just go to the PE teacher and say, dude, somebody stole my stuff out of my locker. Yeah, like Ross, I know what you're saying. I guess the main thing is you really don't want to put a lot of valuable stuff in your locker, because the school can't really be responsible if you lose your stuff, even if somebody breaks into your locker and steals it, because they don't necessarily have the money to just replace everybody's cell phone. So really, you shouldn't bring a lot of valuable stuff to school. All right, well, thank you guys. Let's take a look at the next one. This one says, you get to class and discover that you have left your homework at home. Another student offers to let you copy his homework to turn it in. How do you feel and what would you do? Ross. Let's see, okay, so I got to class without my homework. And somebody, like Abbott or somebody, says that I could copy his homework and turn it in. That's pretty tempting, because I don't want to get a bad grade. But then again, what if the kid who lets me copy his homework is really bad? So I guess what I would do is face the fact, man, I didn't do my homework. I left it at home, whatever. I'm busted. Sorry, man. You're right, Ross. If you copy somebody else's work, dude, that's plagiarism, and you can get in trouble for that. You can get an F on the assignment. You might end up in the assistant principal's office. They'll probably call home to say that you've been copying other people's work. Yeah, don't copy other work, man. Let's take a look at this slip. This slip says, you are standing in the hall between classes. Some of your friends start talking about sneaking off campus to go to the park and invite you to come along. How do you feel? What would you do? What do you think about this one, Monica?
Yeah, right. I'm not going to just leave campus and go to the park. What are they thinking? Why would anybody do that? You don't want to just get yourself totally in trouble. That's called, see, it's more serious in middle school. It's called truancy. You don't want to be truant at school because that's actually, you can get in trouble. Your parents can get in trouble if you're leaving school when you're not supposed to. Wrong. I would not do it, and I would feel annoyed that they were asking me to even do it. Hello?
Well, yeah, Monica, yeah, if you decide to leave campus, you're right. That's truancy, and that's you can get in serious trouble if you're just missing class for no reason. That's not okay. Yeah, besides that, if you got hurt or something when you're at the park, and then people are gonna be why were you at the park in the middle of the day? Yeah, you gotta kind of be where you are, where you're supposed to be. Here's another one that says, it's your first day of school and you sit down in class as the bell rings. Suddenly, you notice that every other student in the room is an 8th grader. How do you feel? What would you do? Ross, take this one for us.
I'd say,
cool. I'm like, they recognize how smart I am and they put me in a class that's an 8th grade. I'm not a 6th grader all day long. I guess part of the day I could be considered an 8th grader. Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. Definitely. Yep, that's what I do. Ross, dude, they're not just going to put you in a class of 8th grade. You know, like if you get to school and you're in a classroom and everybody in there is an 8th grader, dude, you're in the wrong class. You know, you got to check your schedule. Maybe even like go to the teacher and say, look, man, I don't think I'm in the right class. And your teacher can help you find where you're supposed to go. So no, Ross, they didn't just like discover how smart you are and put you in 8th grade. Thank you for that idea. Here's another one. On the 3rd week of school, your reading teacher still calls you by the wrong name. How do you feel? What would you do? Monica, what do you suggest?
I guess I would just put a name tag on my desk. And then that way the teacher can see my name right there. I just take it out of my backpack, little triangle folded up thing, put it on my desk. That way when I raise my hand, the teacher would see that and go, oh, and it would probably help her remember. That sounds simple. I guess I would feel annoyed. Why do they have to not know my name? But I guess they're trying to know a lot of people. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, you know, you're right, Monica. Teachers have a lot of students in their classes. It's like they have 6 periods a day, like 30 students in each. That's like 180 students, you know, and it's hard to remember all that many names, even in the first few weeks. So yeah, name tag would be a good idea. What I like to do is I like talk to my teachers about like my pets or something and ask them questions about their life outside of school, because then they get to know me and they'll remember my name because like we had a relationship or a conversation about something that wasn't just about reading or math. You know, it was about something like that meant something to me besides school, you know. All right, thank you, Chaz, for your input. All right, let's take a look at this one from the Bag of Wisdom. You're in line at lunch. You see a student drop his lunch money. A popular girl from behind him picks it up and keeps it and runs over to the snack bar. How do you feel? What would you do? Monica, what do you think?
Do I know her? I don't know. I mean, does it matter if I know her? Should she be picking up somebody's money and running over to the student store to spend it? No. So I guess I would feel annoyed again. And I guess maybe what I would do is go talk to an adult. I mean, I could go to the girl and tell her, hey, man, that's really lame what you're doing. I guess I could do that. But I'd probably just like mention it to an adult and see if, and let them handle it. You know, I don't want to put myself in the middle of something.
Well, yeah, you know, you could probably talk to one of the adults, you know, because like that's not cool to like take somebody's money just because, you know, he dropped it. It doesn't mean finders keepers. Hey, I saw you drop it. You don't know you dropped it. Now I can get Takis at the snack bar. No, it's not like that. You know, you just need to be honest and treat people right, you know. You don't just take the money. It's not like it's yours when you got to school today. All right, Chaz, thank you. Let's draw another slip from the Bag of Wisdom. This one says, you're walking to class and look out the door toward the front of the building. Suddenly, 2 police cars pull up and the officers run inside and hurry into the office. How do you feel? What would you do? Ross, what do you think? Dude, I'd like help him out, you know? I'd say, man, I'd run up to him and say, guys, I'll be your inside man. Look, guys, I can be your inside man. I'll be undercover, you know? You need me to go and infiltrate the locker room? You want me to go to band and find out if something bad's going on in the band? I can do it, man. See, I blend in. Ross, are you serious? Oh my gosh. I would blend in so, you know, I could go anywhere in the school that I wanted to go. The officers can't blend in, man. Everybody knows they're police officers. So that's what I would do. I would try to blend in and go undercover. I'd get a radio and maybe they would like, I don't know, let me have a baton or something. Man, it'd be cool. Ross, dude, they're not going to like make you the inside man. You're not going to be like the undercover cop at school. Dude, you're just a 6th grader, you know? I mean, they don't like make 6th graders instant police officers, like deputize you on the spot. No, Ross, if that were to happen, you know, just mind your own business. Go to class and be where you're supposed to be, you know, because if there was like a school emergency, they want to make sure everybody's in their classes where they're supposed to be. So, you go where you're supposed to be, Ross. All right, Chaz, as always, I appreciate your input. Let's take another one from the bag of wisdom, which says, you are walking down the hall with your friends. They stop to tease and harass a student who you've never seen before. How do you feel? What would you do? Monica, what do you think?
So I'm walking down the hall and they stop to tease somebody just to bother him, just to harass him for no good reason. Yeah, I think I would feel annoyed. I mean, why do they have to, bother somebody? Just leave them alone. Live and let live. Be kind. I believe in those words. Be kind. Treat people the way you want to be treated. It's just the golden rule. So yeah, that's what I would do. Oh, what would I do? I'd probably just tell them to stop and tell them, you guys are annoying, and then I'd go to class. That's what I'd say.
Well, yeah, Monica, you're right. If they're stopping just to tease people, man, that's not cool. One of the things you can do to help would be like to go to the person who's being teased and say, hey, look, man, it's cool. Don't worry about it. But on the other hand, like if they come up and they do something illegal, like they punch somebody, if they like grab your stuff, like if they stole your cell phone or something, well, that's against the law because that's bullying or that's assault and battery. And so that's just not okay. And so then you talk to the adults on campus, like assistant principals or the teachers, because like they all know about the law. So, you could like talk to them about it and then they'll handle it through like the proper administrative channels. That sounded cool the way I said that. This one says, you were at lunch. One of your friends from your elementary school starts to put French fries in his nose and he laughs really loudly. How do you feel? What would you do? Ross, what do you think?
Oh my gosh. Why would you do that? Why do you want a French fry in your, you don't want to eat the French fry after spitting in your nose. Hello? Then I don't even get it. Is he just acting like he's still in second grade or something? Dude, we're in middle school. Grow up, man. That's what I'd say, but I guess that's what I'd do. I guess I'd feel like embarrassed to like even be sitting there with him, But I guess, I wouldn't stop being his friend. I would just like say, dude, grow up.
Yeah, sometimes people do some like immature things in middle school but usually people like start to grow up a lot. It just depends on the day, because I've done some pretty immature things too, All right, thank you guys. Here's another one from the bag of wisdom. This one says, you're walking to class when you see some mean-looking 8th graders standing in the middle of the hall right in your path on your way to class. How do you feel? What would you do? Monica, what do you think?
I guess I would feel annoyed. So they're just standing there like blocking my path. I guess I would just say, excuse me, and go on by. After all, I have the right to be here. I will be a 6th grade student at the school. I will have the right to go down the hall. Just let me go down the hall and I'll be polite and kind because, I'll be nice to them. I won't let them know I'm annoyed, but that's how I'd be feeling inside.
Monica, what you just said is exactly right. All you guys have the right to be here at middle school. And, so if there's some kids like trying to stand in your way, they're just trying to be like more mature, they're trying to look older or something, just say excuse me and go by because everybody's going to classes about the same time. It's passing period. So yeah, you just maybe squeeze by them. Go to class. Thank you, Chaz. Let me see. This one says, you are in line at lunch and realize you have no money. How do you feel? What would you do? Ross, what do you think?
I guess I'd ask people around me, dude, loan me $1. Hey man, let me borrow some money. Hey, can you give me some of your money? Then I guess if they didn't, I'd go back to my table and I'd say, dude, give me some French fries. Dude, give me a bite of that pie. Dude, let me have some of those tater tots, Try to get some of the food from my friends. After all, they're your friends. They can let you eat something.
Yeah, if you get to lunch and you don't have your money, if you talk to somebody, like you get up to the window, you can tell them you forgot your money. And they'll talk to like the cafeteria supervisor who might come and talk to you about giving you a meal, unless you make it a habit. Like if you like go every day and say, hey, I just need a meal, then they can't just give you food every day. But you can apply for free and reduced lunch. If you go to myschoolamps.com and you enter some information, you can qualify to get like free lunches, you know. So it just depends. If you bring lunch usually, or if you bring money for lunch and you forget one day, they'll probably give you lunch. But if you make it a habit, then they'll say, no, you have to apply for lunch, or your parents have to put money on your account through myschoolbucks.com. I've done both. All right, and here's another slip from the bag of wisdom, which says, it's your first day of school and you realize that you have lost your schedule. How do you feel? What would you do? Monica, what do you think?
I guess I would feel annoyed. I mean, why would I lose my schedule? I mean, I think before I even am at school, I'm going to check Infinite Campus. I'm going to write my schedule down on multiple places. I'm not going to lose my schedule. But if I did, I guess I'm supposed to go to the office and ask. That's what I would do. I would just go to the office and say, I lost my schedule. I wouldn't just like follow one of my friends because they might not have the same schedule. Anyway, thank you.
Actually, Monica, what you do is you go to the counselor's office, because the counselors are the ones who build the schedules. And so like if you go in the main office and say, could you tell me where the counselor's office is? And then you go there, and then they can reprint your schedule in a heartbeat, you know. And then if you are late, because maybe the counselors are like in the halls during passing period, and if you're late, they'll write you a pass, and then you won't be counted as tardy when you go to your next class. So yeah, just go to the counselor. If you lose your schedule, go to the counselor's office. But yeah, like Monica said, write it down. If you write it down in lots of places, then you have it, you know. All right, thanks, guys. Here's one more from the bag of wisdom, which says, you get to lunch and walk to the table to where your friends sit and realize that there are no chairs. All the seats are taken. How do you feel? What would you do? What do you think, Ross? So if I get my lunch and walk to the table where I like to sit with my friends and there's no seats taken, I guess I would just crowd in, you know, say, scoot over, man, crowd in, you know, let me sit there. I guess I could go sit at another table, try to meet somebody new, but I don't know, that'd be kind of hard, but I don't know, I guess people do it all the time. That's probably what I do. Yeah, no big deal. Well, yeah, Ross, you know, it's like, it is a good idea to just like find new people, because like if you want to sit and there's no seats, that's okay, man, because you can go like find a new table to sit with some new people and make some new friends, you know. But when you come to middle school lunch, you know, there's no safe seats. It's not like a lot of elementary schools where you have to sit with your class, because you really don't have a class, because it's all just like 6th grade or all 7th grade and or all 8th grade. And so, but you can't really save seats in the lunchroom, you know, because everybody needs to find a seat and they're crowded and you can't like save seats. But on the other hand, you can't like sit in one seat for a while, like partway through lunch, get up and go to another table and do like table surfing. That's not okay. It's like when you get to lunch, you have to just kind of pick your seat, and there's no assigned seats, and just, if you can't sit down, find a new seat. It's not that big a deal. And here is one more from the bag of wisdom, which says, there's a substitute in your math class. Your friends tell you to pretend that you are deaf. How do you feel? What would you do? What do you think, Monica?
So there's a substitute in my math class, and everybody says, hey, Monica, pretend like you're deaf, like you can't hear what the teacher is saying. I guess I would feel, I don't know, annoyed. I mean, why are they asking me to do something that could get me into trouble? They should do it themselves. I mean, oh my gosh. Yeah, oh my gosh. So I guess I would just say, no thank you. And I would just, or maybe I think I would just ignore it. So, you know, then when the teacher's gone through roll call and the substitute calls my name, I'll just say here, and then they'll see that I'm not going to play their little game. Jeez. Substitutes don't need to be mistreated.
If my friends tell me to do something to a sub, I usually don't do it, you know, because, you know, the substitutes are here, they don't know everybody, and we all know everybody, and so they're kind of uncomfortable, but they still have a job to do. And so besides that, they always let the teachers know who's messing around. And yeah, you know, just treat the subs like you would anybody else, just respect. Just treat people with respect. All right, well, I've gotten some great ideas here. Let's take a look at one last note from the bag of wisdom, which says, relax. You will all be fine in middle school. That's not even a question. I mean, that's exactly what it says. Relax. You all will be fine in middle school. But, gosh, there's no more questions in the bag of wisdom. Well, thank you guys for your input today. I appreciate your time. Chaz, I have one more question for you. What advice would you like to give to all the fifth graders who are about to come to middle school? I guess the best thing I would say about coming to middle school, is to be open-minded, because you're going to be fine. Just when you come to school, just take a breath and relax, because you don't know your way, but your teachers know you don't know your way. So you just let your teachers know, hey, I'm trying to find my way, and there's going to be people late on the first day, but that's okay. It's like when you start coming in late, like 3 weeks into the year every day, if you're coming in late, then they're going to be like pretty strict, but the first couple of days, they're understanding. Teachers don't hate kids, they like kids, but teachers are angry and strict with kids if they're messing around. So I'd say just come and relax and do your work every day and turn it in, That's how you get through middle school. I think that we've come up with some good ideas on how to deal with some of the situations that you might face in middle school, and I think the orange paper is completely accurate. Relax. You all will be fine in middle school.